Hi, this is Paul Janeczko, and I'd like to read a few poems from my new book, which will be out in August. August 9th is the publication date for the book called Requiem, Poems of the TEREZIN GHETTO, and it will be published by Candlewick Press. And it's a book of poems about a concentration camp in the Czech Republic called Terezin or Theresienstadt. And it was a different kind of concentration camp. It was not a death camp like Auschwitz or some of those. It was a place where Hitler brought the intellectual and creative Jews of Prague to this walled fortress city that goes back to the Middle Ages, and he kept them there for a period of time. It was a way station. So in other words, they would stay there and then they would be shipped out. They would be shipped out to Auschwitz or one of the other death camps. Now, to say it wasn't a death camp is true in the sense of what we understand death camps to be from that horrible experience. But still, thousands of Jews died because of overcrowding, starvation, nutrition, and that sort of thing. So that was the basis for the poems. And the two poems I'm going to read, one of them is called, the first one I'm going to read is called Tamás Kazinszewicz 11850. For nearly 16 years of Fridays, Villy and I played chess in the park until snow drove us to the back corner of Bloom's. Only for death, when my beloved Helen passed, when his son fell through the ice, did we miss. Villy brought a small brown paper bag with white peppermints. I hid 2 cigars in my shirt pocket until later. 2 warriors, we said little as move led to counter-move. Later, board and pieces put away, cigars lit, we talked the talk of old men, warmed on the park bench. On a most glorious morning in October, Villy placed the peppermints on the table, but did not sit. I looked up at the face of sorrow. He picked up the white king, then laid it softly on its side. I can no longer play with you, said a false voice. The sun is blue would have made more sense. It is forbidden, my friend, to fraternize with a Jew. I looked at his king. I must go, he whispered. They are watching. Only when my bones chilled in the darkening day did I stand and with a single swipe clear the table of chessmen, peppermints, and walk into the new night. And the second poem is spoken by a young girl whose job was in the bundles room. And the poem explains the bundles and how they got there and what was in them and what she did. Sarah Engel, 37124. I was lucky, I was told, to work indoors in the bundles room. Small and airless, 2 barred windows near the ceiling. 3 girls looked up when I walked in. 2 mumbled their names. The 3rd looked down. Each had a bundle opened on the floor before her, like chaotic picnics. Other bundles were piled along a wall, each different, one wrapped in a yellow and blue bedspread, a white tablecloth ringed with red tulips, a child's pink blanket, small with a smooth satin edge. Our job was to sort and pick through 1 bundle each day, to sort and pick through 1 history each day. The tall girl fetched a bundle and laid it before me. When I untied the knot, the blue quilt quickly revealed the small parts of people's lives. I pictured soldiers walking through apartments of displaced Jews, boisterous, haughty, their boots loud and careless in the gloom of ghosts. Laughter as they laid a blanket or tablecloth on the floor and dumped the contents of drawers from dressing table and bureau, desk and sewing room cabinet, towing back with booted foot anything that rolled away. Tying the corners, lugging the bundles with the disregard of a fruit merchant taking out the trash to the truck in the street. To come here. Embarrassed, ashamed to peek through cracks in a shutter at the pieces of life spread before me. Pieces of cloth and thread, cotton and silk put aside. Pins and needles, scissors, a thimble worn smooth, a manicure set with dull ivory handles, a tortoiseshell hand mirror, eyeglasses, a small yellowed envelope with Hannah written on the front in a graceful hand. Inside, a lock of raven hair. Worse were the photographs, generations of families looking at me, nameless men and women, children, elders. Would I see someone I know? The thought was a snake in my stomach. Bound by blood, now held together in albums or in small piles tied with ribbon. The work was easy, I was told. But soon, defeated by my wretched sadness, I chose the absolution of the cold, where I stacked wood or lugged stones until my fingers bled. So those are two of the poems in my new book of poems called Requiem, Poems for Poems of the TEREZIN Ghetto. Be available. August 9th is the publication date for the book, so be looking for it. I will be keeping you up to date on my website, so come back and visit and get the latest. Also, I'll have information on my Facebook page. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.